Good afternoon from sunny King City, Ontario. I'm Arslan Kadir. I'm joined by Manali Patel, and we're coming to you live. Second game of the day in Group B, Prince Edward Island versus Ontario. Ontario winning the toss and choosing to bowl first. It is a shortened game as we see Akil Kumar running in. Big swing and a miss there from the opener, Arth Darji. And Manali, just about an hour ago, the clouds opened up, poured down, absolutely poured down here in King City. But we are going to get a game in. It is going to be 11 overs aside. And PEI getting off to a slow start here, 16 for 1 in the fourth over. The power play has been completed. It's now the fourth over. Manali, you've got some lunch. You got a well-deserved break. Welcome back. How you doing?
Good, thanks, Arslan. Yes, the rain forecast unfortunately did not call for rain this afternoon, but it definitely came down, and this is a very, very short match. We are reduced to 11 overs aside, and PEI not really up to the task to score the quick runs needed with such a shortened game. They're 17 for 1 after 4 overs. And Ontario doing a fantastic job with their bowling effort. They've been lively in the field. Their bowlers have been on the mark. Their paces are steaming in. We've got a bowling change. Kairav Sharma coming in for his first as he bowls to Arth Darji. Quite a few of the senior players have been rested for this game for Ontario. Arce, you think Ontario is very confident to have rested some of their main players?
Well, the captain, I don't see Navneet Dhaliwal. Saad Zafar, the captain for this game. I don't see Navneet here, so he might have had some other more important things going on rather than national championships. Decided to give a couple of the other guys a chance, and I think it's good early on in the tournament. You want to make sure that you're ready to go. You want to see what your bench stock is like, as we see Kairav Sharma starting off short, and Darji just hitting that to deep cover. They might be a little bit more comfortable. Didn't look too comfortable against the pace of Jeremy Gordon and Shabazz Kayani. And that's something that some of these bigger sides will have. This is David versus Goliath. Ontario, the second largest province in the country. PEI, the smallest province in the country. So just a population of around 170,000, Manali, where I think it's about 170,000 cricketers in Ontario that play. So again, it is David versus Goliath. PEI only losing that one wicket, however, so they do have a little bit of a platform to launch from. And just as I say that, that's been hit away to point, and Salman Nazar, a little bit of a bobble there. But the vice captain, Priyam Soni, has to go. And that's the second wicket. Kairav Sharma coming on and doing the trick for his captain.
Yeah, fantastic bowling change there. Kairav Sharma picks up his first wicket, and Soni unfortunately walking back 5 runs off 10 deliveries. PEI, absolutely a very, very small province compared to Ontario. Far fewer cricketers to pick from. But what a great opportunity for them to be able to come out here and play against some of the top players of the country. Ontario obviously has quite a few national players as well. We saw Jeremy Gordon coming in, bowling his pace. Raw pace, that's the stuff that I'm sure a lot of PEI batsmen have not faced yet. And new batsman walking in, Vikram Singh. Unfortunately, I would say they need to build a partnership, but with just 11 overs, a game of just 11 overs, you don't really have time to do that. You've got to go from ball 1, and PEI not quite able to do that yet.
Vikram Singh, a left-hand batsman. I think this is a good call from PEI. He was slotted in at number 11 on the sheet that we were given, but a left-hander. Kairav Sharma turning the ball in, so it might be it's a good call from PEI. We'll see if it works, but I like the way they're thinking. They're going to attack Ontario here, and this one is rightfully so, just driven down the ground for a single. Vikram Singh getting off the mark. Art Darji has been there for 10 balls. He's got to get a little bit of a move on. Not much time here in an 11-over match.
Yeah, absolutely. Not much time at all. And when you've got accurate bowling, it makes your job even harder to score those runs. Sharma coming in for this fourth. Just short of a length, and that's driven out to the long off fielder for a comfortable single. Shortened games, RC, they could go either way sometimes. Always makes me nervous to see a Ontario side that's not at its fullest strength. However, I think they're quite comfortable against the competition that they've been slotted against. Oh, and that's just paddled around the legs, and that is going to run down to fine leg for 4 runs. Very well played by Vikram Singh. Second delivery he faced, and it's gone down to 4.
Yeah, they brought out that left-hander just to account ball spinning into him. He's a big man as well, so we know that he's going to have the strength. But again, showing a little bit of finesse on that delivery. Kairav Sharma just pitching that ball full, and Vikram Singh said thank you very much, as I'm going to just paddle this away to the boundary. He's got to adjust for his length here, Kairav Sharma. As that one, and there we go. As we said, he's got to adjust his length, and he certainly pulled that one back, and Vikram Singh with the leading edge. So quick but entertaining little innings there from Vikram Singh, but he has to go now. 5 off 3 deliveries. Kairav Sharma picking up his second wicket of the over. These bowlers only have a couple of overs to play with, and it's important to take wickets early and often. PEI now 24 for 3 after 5 overs. Kairav Sharma 2 for 7 in his 1 over. That ball hit a long on. Manali was hit down to Jeremy Gordon, and it was great to watch. I know we weren't on air for those folks, and apologies for a little bit. Art Darji looking to go over the top, unsuccessfully on 3 straight occasions at Manali. But I will say it's good to see Kairav Sharma fresh off on Under-19 World Cup. Akil Kumar and Nick Manohar fresh off on Under-19 World Cup just 2 years prior. So it's good to see these young guys coming up the ranks. And it bodes well. Only 3 uncapped players for Canada in this Ontario lineup. So again, there are a few names missing. But still a mighty good side on paper. They've got to perform, however, and this is a better shot, and that's lovely. I love to see that. Love the innovation there from Art Dargy. It wasn't working hitting it down the ground. Decided to hit it down the ground the other way, over the keeper's head. But again, wait a minute. The bail is off. What's the umpire's call? They're saying it's the wind. I'd have to
now he's on.
If you're just joining us, or if you're just finally hearing our voices, you've missed out on some of the best commentary of our careers, Manali. So apologies for the technical difficulties. We're back here. Last ball. We're here for one ball, Manali, of this first innings. PEI limping across the line, 56 for 9. As this last ball, it is going to be a dot ball, so they're going to end on 56 for 9 after 11. And if you're just joining us, we'll recap the innings for you. My name's Arslan Kadir. I'm alongside Manali Patel. PEI 56 for 9 in their allotted 11. We had heavy rainfall after the first game. Ontario won the toss, decided to bowl first, and restricting PEI to 56 for 9. Art Darji, the only man that looked promising, 17 off 19 opening the innings. Manny Dhaliwal came in for a quick fire, 12 off 6. But nobody else really making a contribution to the innings. They ended at 56 for 9. Jeremy Gordon bowled with a lot of pace early on, 1 for 8 off his 2. Kairav Sharma bowled well for 2 for 13 off his 2 overs. Dylan Haliger went for 12 in his first over, but came back strong, 2 for 14 off his 2. And Salman Nazar, 3 for 6 off his 2 overs. So a strong performance by the Ontario bowling lineup, exactly what they would have hoped for. Bowling first. And now, Manali, we've just come, but we're going to take a little bit of a break. Before then, what are your thoughts on that first innings? Welcome back for the chase. My name's Arslan Kadir. I'm joined alongside Manali Patel. Ontario winning the toss, deciding to bowl first, restricting PEI to 56 for 9 in their allotted 11 overs. Shortened game due to the rain, Manali. 11 overs, 56, under par total. Ontario sent out Nicholas Manohar and Shubham Sharma to take on the Prince Edward Island bowling. We saw Quebec do a really professional job yesterday in their run chase of 111. Ontario will be looking to do the same, and hopefully ease home to a comfortable victory. But PEI, we have other thoughts.
Yeah, Ontario should be quite comfortable in chasing a small total of 57 runs. This is a great opportunity for
On?
Yep. Welcome back to King City for the chase of the second innings of the PEI Ontario game. I'm joined by Arslan Kadir. And Ontario 3 balls in and 5 runs on the board already. Nicholas Manohar able to get off the strike quite comfortably, and Shubham Sharma just getting a 4 off of his last delivery there against Fahad Ahmed. Ahmed bowling his 5th delivery, and that is picked up beautifully over deep extra cover. That is struck beautifully right out of the middle of the bat, and these two batsmen out there look quite comfortable. Of course, as mentioned earlier, they have quite a bit of competition in Ontario at various levels and should be quite used to pace, spin, you name it. Back of a length, defended on his toes or played out to point for a dot ball, and that finishes the first over for Ontario. 9 for no loss, and a very comfortable start to the batting innings for Ontario. RC, thoughts on this Ontario batting lineup?
Yeah, it looks to be they've changed a few things up here in this match. Not a big total to chase down. Shubham Sharma obviously has opened the batting in all 3 games for them. Baran Kanpatan opened the batting yesterday in the 2 games. He's been asked to take a seat on the bench and come closer to the middle order, but it is going to be Shubham Sharma and Nicholas Manohar. Nicholas Manohar played in the Under-19 World Cup just a few years ago and now representing Ontario opening the batting. But I will say Shubham Sharma, I got an opportunity to watch him bat over the weekend. He blasted 80-odd in the local league here, and it was absolutely sublime, playing shots all around the ground. So it's a pleasure to watch him bat. A new name, many would not have heard of his name, as we watch Gaganpreet Singh to open the attack. Left arm seam from this end and running on an angle, going old school. Love to see it. Anytime I see anybody running with an angle, Manali, I know he's going to be able to swing this ball away from this. And he's tricked me. He's 100% tricked me. He's running in an angle as if he was a left arm seamer, but instead he decides to bowl with his right hand. Maybe he's ambidextrous. We've seen a number of those spinners nowadays. So again, well bowled. Good start from Gaganpreet Singh. They're going to need the dot balls. We talked about this a lot last night, Manali. The dot balls are not going to quite cut it for PEI. It's a low total. They're going to need wickets, and they're going to need wickets in bunches. As this is full, played out to point, not quite getting it. Nicholas Manohar. He needs to be able to just get off strike. Shubham Sharma, the man in form. It's got to get him on strike.
Yeah, he's looked quite comfortable in that first over. However, got to get the man in form on strike. Sharma was looking very good in his first over. Gaganpreet Singh coming in at quite the angle, as you mentioned. Third delivery, and that's a full toss, and that's flicked off his pads for 4, again to mid-wicket. And that is beautifully played by Nick Manohar, who gets his first boundary in his start of his innings. Gaganpreet Singh, just missing his mark. Line and length, offering a very easy full toss, just asking to be hit. Oh, and that's a short ball, and that is edged over the keeper. And they just run a single on that. Could have pushed for the second, but quite comfortable with just 1 run, and no risk needed for Ontario at this point. They're going at 14. They're at 14 runs. Still a couple of deliveries left in the over. Comfortable strike rate of 8.4. RC, very different from what the fast bowlers are taught, to have everything going towards your target with this angled run-up.
Yeah, and he's deciding to stay around the wicket to the right-hander as well, Manali, as we watch him run in here. The other thing to note here is he's running straight down the middle of the track, so he's not getting off the wicket, running straight into that danger area. No movement from the umpire in terms of the danger area so far, but that's got to come into play. I'm surprised he's deciding to stay around the wicket to the right-hander. Again, they need wickets. Takes almost 2 modes of dismissal out of play here, the bowled and the LBW. So, interesting to see the tactics. He does have the slip in play as well. The 2 men out. The 2 men out are at deep point and fine leg. They're gonna false start. So again, there's funny things have happened in the first couple of days, Manali, and this is an interesting run-up. But again, he's not bowling too bad. Besides that full toss, he's been okay. Just 5 runs off his bowling so far in the 5 balls that he's bowled. But again, the name of the game is going to be wickets as you watch him run in. This is short again, and Shubham Sharma does not need an invitation. This is hit out to square leg. Is he going to go all the way? Yes, the umpire's arms go up. 6 runs for Shubham Sharma. We said he was the man in form, and he's certainly delivering here today for Ontario.
And that's 20 runs after 2 overs for Ontario. Slightly disappointing final delivery there from Gagandeep Singh. Did not need to bowl short. And unfortunately, that was short, not enough pace on there, and Shubham Sharma is in too good of a form to not put that out of the park as he did. Ontario required just 37 more runs from 54 deliveries, and I think their openers might be able to finish this quite comfortably for them, not really needing the rest of the batsmen in the dugout. In again, Ahmed, bowling short of or back of a length, and that is defended quite comfortably. RC Nick Manohar, Harsh Tucker, both of these kids, I call them kids because I've seen them grow up. We all played for the same club together for quite a few years here in Ontario. Oh, and that's again picked up off his legs. Fielder trying to get under it, but it will fall safe. And a single to Nick Manohar. These kids, not so little anymore. However, they've definitely come through the rankings in Ontario from junior cricket to now playing senior cricket for the province and for Canada.
Yes, certainly you would have been very proud of him after he scored his 100 at the Under-19 World Cup, Manali, Nicholas Manohar. So as we watch Fahad Ahmed run in here, and this is short of a length again, an appeal, half an appeal, but the umpire has called a wide. Yeah, Nicholas Manohar, 100 at the Under-19 World Cup against Japan. So again, you would have been proud of him after that innings, and now carrying on the fine form. But he's a keeper as well. So again, we talked about multifaceted cricketers in this form of the game. You certainly need him, and Nick is showing his prowess with the bat here. He's 7 off 7. Doesn't need to do much as we watch Shubham Sharma face up to Fahad Ahmed. This one's back of a length again, inside edge. Perilously close to the stumps there. And the oohs and ahs come out from PEI, but again, they're going to need wickets. 22 for no loss, 23 for no loss after 2.3. Fahad Ahmed, the captain, he's only got 3 deliveries left in his spell here. He can bowl a third, but it'll be interesting to see. Not something that you probably want to do at this stage. But again, you don't really have many choices, do you, at this stage with 56 runs on the board? You've got to take every opportunity to get wickets early and often.
Again, back of a length and just defended straight to the bowler. Nick Manohar not really in any rush to chase down this total, and no need. We've had rain today, we've had reduced overs. Not quite sure if there's going to be rain tomorrow and how much of an impact net run rate might have at the end of this tournament. So you got to keep those wickets in hand, especially with a comfortable total such as this. Oh, and he chips down, looking to play that down leg, but getting it off his pads for a leg by. Sharma definitely looking like the more comfortable one out there between the two, able to get more bat on ball. Final delivery of the over from Fahad Ahmed. And that's back of length again, driven beautifully off the back foot through the cover boundary. That shot was a classic to watch as he hits yet another 4, Sharma. Ontario 28 for no loss after 3 overs, cruising along, and PEI, unfortunately the bowlers don't seem to have the answers to some of this incredible batting. 29 runs required off 48 balls, and PEI need a miracle to turn this game around.
Yeah, 28 for no loss after 3. And it is going to be a bowling change here. So the power play is done. Canada faring much better than PEI did at 28 for no loss after 3. And as again, we mentioned, this is a bit of a David and Goliath matchup. Ontario, the second largest province in the country. PEI, the smallest province in the country, with a population of just hovering around 170,000. Manali, we mentioned there's about 170,000 cricketers in Ontario to select from. So, again, a vast difference. We're going to see Vikram Singh into the attack now. And here's the left arm seam that I was hoping for. This is short of a length, and Nicholas Manohar helps us on his way down to the fine leg fielder, but just falling short. A great fielding effort there on the fine leg boundary, putting in the full length dive, diving forward, but just falling short and going for 4. But again, the luck just not going PEI's way early on in this chase.
No, unfortunately not going their way at all. And Nick Monaghan has looked to play off his pads quite a fair bit. Haven't seen much played onto the offside. The Singh comes in for the delivery, and that's well bowled. Nick Monaghan just taking his time, defending that, not taking any risks. Risks not needed at this point. Both batsmen well above the 100 strike rate. And that's a very, very full delivery as Nick Monaghan tries to hit it towards the mid-on fielder as they run across for 2 comfortable runs. A lot of aerial shots from Nick Monaghan. RC, not much along the ground, not like some of the drives that we've seen from the other end that Sharma has played.
Now again, they're taking their chances. The field, still 5 men in the ring. Still 5 men in the ring for PEI. So again, they're on the prowl. They want the wickets. As we see a 6th man coming into the ring now. So an interesting field. And Nicholas Manohar taking his chances as we see Vikram Singh running in. This one back of a length, driven on the offside, off the back foot. Just going to manage a single here. Shubham Sharma wants to strike. He's not interested in that second whatsoever. You say, Nick, you faced enough of the deliveries. It's my turn now. You see the left arm seam of Vikram Singh. Again, we saw the pace of Ontario trouble the PEI batsmen. These PEI bowlers just not having the pace to really trouble them on this surface. And this one pitched up, driven square down to the 3rd man fielder. Again, the thickish outside edge from Shubham Sharma in the single. So again, they're doing it easily here. These two might want to start looking to bat for their rates here. Up the averages a little bit. Get that little star next to your name on the scorecard. See Nick Manohar facing this one short outside the off stump. He's driven in the air, and that's a drop catch. Unfortunately for the PEI fielders, Vikram Singh, they've got a good attitude. They're clapping the man, but in a simple chance at this level, that's got to be taken, and that's a drop catch and a life for Nicholas Manohar. The score now 37 for no loss after 4. Manali just 20 runs to go now in 42 deliveries. Very comfortable chase here so far, but for PEI, they would have loved that catch to be taken. And for Vikram Singh, he would have loved the wicket under his name.
Yeah, comfortable catch definitely goes down. That's the second chance that Nick Monaghan has given. A few deliveries earlier, he was in trouble again. Unfortunately, that was a much harder chance. However, I would really like to see Nick Monaghan. Risks are fine. However, you got to try and hit the ball along the ground whenever you can, especially when you're hitting it in the same direction as a fielder. Either clear the man or play along the ground. No point giving away your wicket with such a small total. And as I say that, he defends it back to Akhil Mohan, who is into the first ball of his spell. Another bowling change for PEI. They're trying to see which bowler might get a breakthrough for them. That's very full, driven down to long on for a single. Nick Monaghan off strike and Sharma back on. Sharma has unfortunately not gotten the strike as much as he would have liked, just facing 10 deliveries compared to the 16 that Nick Monaghan has. 20 runs off the 10 deliveries that he's faced, and he has looked good. That's short, down leg, and just helped along the way as that goes for another 4 down fine leg. Shubham Sharma, RC, he's not looking to wait around, and he's getting bat on ball as often as he can.
Just have to help that one on its way. Manali, as you mentioned, is Shubham Sharma racing away to 24 off 11 deliveries, 4 fours, 1 6. He's not too bothered with running between the wickets. He says, I'm in a hurry. Just the one game here for Ontario. A shortened game. And the third game of the tournament for them already. And Shubham Sharma looks in fine form. See, this one hit on the up. There is a man out there, so it's just going to go to the down to cover and gets off strike. And that's what he's done well. He's hit the boundary and then got to the other end. So Shubham Sharma looks to be the man in form. As we said, not a name that you would associate in as much, but he's really come in fine form. He's played a lot of cricket over the years. First time representing Ontario, and the selectors will be keeping a keen eye on him as he scored a 50 in the first game against Nova Scotia and then runs again for him today. All right, so you see Akil run in, and Nick Manohar down leg looking to help that one on its way. He saw Sharma do the same thing a couple balls ago, but it is going to be a wide. So again, not far away here for Ontario. These two, they're gonna want to bring this home, and again have that red dot next to their name on the scorecard.
Oh, that's a full toss, and that is helped on its way. Nick Manohar picking that up beautifully and depositing it to the square leg boundary for a 6. Akil Mohan missing his mark with that delivery and unfortunately pays the price. And with that comes up 50 runs for Ontario, 50 for no loss with one more delivery left in this over. Just 7 runs to get, RC. I think it might be all over by next over. Of course, Canada has a very important tournament coming up in the next few weeks. Everything leading up to the qualifiers for the 2023 World Cup, and a lot of these players looking to get in the good books of the selectors. That's short again, just played onto the offside for a comfortable 2 runs. Good communication between the two. They ran the first one, were watchful whether to call in for the second or not, and sure enough they came in for the second. 52 for no loss after 5 overs, just 5 runs to get off 36 deliveries. Ontario cruising home.
Yeah, doing it comfortably here. We might see the end of it in the 6th over. 52 for no loss after 5. It's going over 10 runs and over. And again, we knew that 56 was below par, but these two making it look very easy. Shubham Sharma 25 off 12, 4 fours and a 6. Nicholas Manohar 24 off 18, 2 fours and a 6. So again, doing it easily here. They're going to want to finish it off quick. Like we said, just the one game for Ontario today. As we see Sufyan Chaudhry come into the attack. Didn't trouble the scorers earlier. But now, again, it's always a tough thing to do to come and bowl with not many left. A lot of overs, no wickets down. And this is a full toss. And could this go all the way? And again, Shubham Sharma finishing it off in style there, Manali. 6 runs to end the match. Ontario win by 10 wickets. That's the end. Quick and easy there for Ontario. They've done well. PEI, again, in these moments, these shortened games, it could go either way. But again, a very clinical performance from Ontario. They did well with the ball, restricting PEI to 56 for 9, hitting them with pace early. The spinners did their job, and then the two, Nicholas Manohar and Shubham Sharma, said, we'll take it from here, and a clinical performance from them. Manali, Ontario, clinical job, doing what's needed in this state.
Yeah, they've done a very clinical performance, as you said. They've completed what should have been a very easy game for them to begin with, especially with the experience that they have, and they've certainly come out here and shown it. With not even their seniors, but with some of their juniors getting a promotion. Nicholas Manohar finishes on 24 off of his 18. Shubham Sharma 31 off just 13 deliveries, 4 fours and 2 sixes in that. The bowlers unfortunately did not fare nearly as well. Ahmed going for 16 runs in his 2 overs. Singh 11 off his 1. Gaganpreet Singh, Vikram Singh going 9 off of 1, and Akhil Mohan, unfortunately, the most, I guess the most expensive in his fully completed over 15. And Chaudhary going for 6 in that first delivery of his bowling. Canada or Ontario 58 for no loss at the end of their innings, and that is it from Arslan and myself for this game. We will take a short break and meet you guys shortly for the final game of this second day of the T20